Give me a second.
Jay, turn that down, please.
What's up?
Not much. How are
Hey,
you?
hey.
I'm here. I'm here.
That's it?
I hear ya.
Just
I'm
existing?
insanely tired.
I feel that.
Sorry?
I'm tired.
I think
I
you
think
guys are
I'm. I
tired
think
from
I'm.
existing.
Well, I think I'm
Like,
tired.
what are
I'm
y'all
tired
tired from?
mentally. I'm tired mentally today. If I'm keeping it real. So.
Yeah,
Talk
definitely.
to Dr. Tim. What's wrong?
You know what's wrong? I've been doing too many things that go too long. That's what,
Care
that's
to
what I've been doing.
elaborate. Been doing things that
Well,
go too long.
last night, Kiki, because you were there, I did a podcast on all things pan. So it was just two pan players singing, playing pan. We had talking, drinking, and it went till 2 a.m. their time, but midnight our time, and it was fun. Don't get me wrong. I just fell asleep late.
So this morning I was telling somebody that I didn't sleep a wink, and they're like, "Uh-oh, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "Well, nothing. The time when I, stayed up, watched a movie with Jay, and then when I should have closed my eyes, I decided to read, and next thing you know, it's like 6 in the morning." And they're like, "Well, that's on you, bro." I was like, "Wow."
And you
Okay,
worked
I
today?
guess it's on you.
And you worked today, Tim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I've been told I'm a Martian, and it's kind of true. I really don't need a lot of sleep. So, like when it's funny when I realized how late or early it was.
Mhm.
That's when I started to feel a little bit groggy.
Tired?
And then,
Yeah.
but then you get up and starting this routine, like going for a walk in the morning, like a
Okay.
walk run. Did that with Ellie.
Nice.
I think it's good. Like, especially if kids that have a lot of energy. If you can
Mhm.
get them active early in the morning, it really helps. Really, really
Taking
helps.
notes. Taking notes.
Something you need to let us know there, Kiki.
Yeah.
What? No, I'm just saying.
What are you taking notes for?
I am not implying anything. Let's put that out there. I'm not implying anything. I'm just saying that is something to be mindful of for
My
the
camera's
not
really
for the
choppy.
for the not so near future. So yeah,
Hold
what's
on.
Fair
happening?
enough.
I don't know. Hold on.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. So who's
It's like I'm too much for it. It's like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't manage.
I can't.
Neither can my camera.
Well, Danny, I saw that you stuck the link there for our
I
open
did.
discussion.
I did. I tried to pin it, but it wouldn't pin. So I might have to post it a few times.
Okay. Well, it looks like there's a few people on here. If you're here, say hi.
Yo,
Let us know
wait.
you're here.
Yes, please. Let us know.
So
So I
the
guess
people that come in will be able to see them?
If
yeah,
they want
if
to, I think.
if they want to be seen.
Yes. Because when
Yeah.
they
All
go
right,
to
y'all,
the
let's do
link,
it. Let's go.
doesn't it give them an option to like display like their camera or not? Kind of like Zoom,
Yeah.
sort of? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, who's out there? Say hi.
Let us
What
know
up,
so we don't feel
Aisha? What's
alone.
up?
So we don't feel alone.
Yes. Tonight is about you guys. So we want to
Is
hear
it like a
you.
Q&A?
We want to hear your
Yeah, kind
comments.
of.
If there's anything you
Ask.
want us to discuss,
Yeah.
we're here. So
Yeah.
See, mine is still
Hi,
doing it, even
mommy.
if I'm not running.
what's not running, sir?
Can you, like, I don't know, maybe can you shut me down and then bring me
Yeah.
back in?
Yeah. Too funny.
What's the face for, Danny?
What face?
Tim wants you to close him out and bring him back if possible.
Oh, I can't. He's gonna have to leave. I can kick him out.
Hopefully he can hear us. Tim, are you out there? He's having a bit of technical difficulties, but
No. You gotta love technology.
oh yeah. Drop a like,
Yeah.
let us know you're here.
Mm-hmm. Got some interesting things to talk about.
And hold on a second.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh yeah, there's the link.
Mm-hmm.
How do you pin it in here?
I don't know. Didn't want to pin.
No, it won't let me. I can't do it either
That's
for
okay.
some reason.
I will. I'll post it a few times. No worries.
Okay. And we're
If
just
people
waiting
ask.
for Tim to get back.
Mm-hmm. So as I was saying,
Mhm.
a few interesting topics today that we can start off with.
Okay.
Well, one is the most recent. We're getting locked down on Friday.
Okay, everyone keeps saying lockdown.
Yeah, it's not really a lockdown. It's more like a
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, it's not really a lockdown, but people are using the LD word
Mm-hmm.
heavy.
Yeah.
heavy. People aren't happy about it.
Yeah.
It is a little disappointing and disheartening.
Yeah. To be
No.
honest, when I saw the numbers go up to 1,000 one day,
Mhm.
I was like, if they don't do it Easter weekend, they're gonna do it the weekend after.
Right. And maybe they did hold off because a lot of people were complaining that they were going to do it before Easter.
Mm-hmm.
So, but who knows? Who knows? At this
Yeah.
point, it's just a vicious cycle that we're a part of. And yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone's kind of up to here with the
Up
way
to
of the
here,
world right now.
I'm like
I think everyone's, yeah. You can
I'm
feel it.
so
You
done.
can feel it. And everywhere that you go, you know, just the conversations that you're seeing, the posts you're seeing online, people are not happy. Not just in the province, but across the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, because people are saying, people are wearing their masks, people are getting vaccinated, and we're still having this issue. We're still seeing increase in numbers. So it's like, what do we do now? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What is it that we need to change? What part of the equation needs to be manipulated?
Yeah.
But
I just want to know how all the other countries were able to be COVID free and are back to normal. I just want to know what they did so we can follow and just get it done.
yeah.
Get it done.
Aisha was saying, so what is happening Friday? I didn't hear details. Do you want to fill her in?
Yeah. So this Friday at noon, restaurants, is it restaurants? Restaurants and gyms, and I think something else will be shut down. There'll be no indoor dining in restaurants, but their patios will be open.
Okay.
So that's fun.
Oh, okay. Tim is back. I don't know.
Outdoor gatherings, I think, are still to 10, and they have to be socially distanced. So all that means is fire at my place.
I'm down because we're still allowed to have 10 people outside. So I'm down.
Eliana.
I am down.
Alrighty. I tried
Yeah.
something here.
Hold on,
so
hold on.
hopefully I can see you guys again. I wasn't seeing you guys, and I don't know why my computer is now black. It's a day. Technology is just not cooperating.
Yeah. I don't, I don't know what's going on. But yeah.
Alrighty.
Tim, how do you feel about I don't even know what to call it because it's not really a lockdown because everything's still open.
Going back to step 1 or stage 1 of our restrictions.
Stage 1, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thoughts
How do you feel about
on that?
I don't know.
That's how
I don't
feel.
know.
It's kind of like, here we go again.
Like,
Yep.
I don't. We, like, places like New Zealand, I think Australia, they did, like, full lockdowns.
Mhm.
Like, massive fines, imprisonment, crazy stuff if you're outside. And I think that I think a lot of those countries that did that are back to normal now. I don't think the partial lockdown is good for a partial decline. But I think
Yeah.
at this point, with I don't know what the vaccination numbers are like.
Right.
But, like, for example, my father has both his shots now.
Okay.
My mother has one. And, like, my dad's age group was one of the priority ones, and my mom's age group is, like, the next priority. And I think that once more vulnerable sectors have it, then I think then the numbers won't matter as much. But a lot of younger, not like people that aren't in, like, a vulnerable group have been getting it and have been getting fairly sick and dying. Rare,
Right.
but it's been rare, but still it does happen. And I think that's affecting like why just the elderly getting it and the people who are vulnerable, them getting it hasn't really meant okay, everything go back to normal.
Right.
As a person who kind of knows how the government kind of works.
Insider info, guys. Insider info.
Well, it's not even the info. It's just like I just know how they work, and they have to make decisions. They have to make decisions that work for everybody, but they really kind of don't. They make decisions for their base. Like, I wouldn't want to be leading right now. Like, I look at it and I'm like, I don't have the answers here.
Right. Exactly.
I just don't have the answers. Like, CDC had, like, Naid Nenshi down in Calgary. He he decided he's not going to run.
Yeah.
For mayor.
That.
So, like, I don't blame him. You want to run? Like, who wants to really be in charge right now?
Right.
Before, the leaders are just rolling around in oil and money and just throwing it places and wasting it. Now, people don't have jobs or they're underemployed.
Yeah.
And then people are sick and dying. Like, my God. Like, again, I don't have the answers.
I don't think anyone does, to be honest. Well, New Zealand and parts of Asia do, and Africa. They obviously have the answers. They're fine.
But if you think about how many, so they're talking about cases. How many of those cases have symptoms? Like, actual, like, some people go do their due diligence and they go and they get tested. Oh, you got COVID, and they go and think. But, like, how many people are symptomatic? And there are stats for that, and they show like people who had no pre-existing conditions, and like how COVID affected them. There's people who who had moderate symptoms, people who were vulnerable, and they just showed how it affected people. And if most people that get it are asymptomatic.
I just said every place that did a full lockdown for 2 full weeks no longer have COVID as an issue. It's difficult with larger cities, though. So,
But all of New Zealand.
New Zealand, I think New Zealand's the size of Alberta.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And it's an island.
Also true.
Yeah, like we have a border that's, I mean, they did close it for a bit, but there's still people who've been coming in.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
New Zealand
a lot more factors at play.
Isn't New Zealand like 24 hours ahead of us? Like, they're in the middle of the ocean. Like, out there with the hobbits and thing. Yo, it's different.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, all I'm going to say is it is what it is. We're back to square one, or phase one.
Right.
Literally. And yeah, I'm kind of over it. On to the next topic. I'm so over talking about COVID, honestly.
I remember when it was H1N1, and that didn't. Like there was like the scare, and then it was over, and that's what I thought this was gonna be. A year and plus later.
Yeah.
Aisha says, "I want karaoke nights back."
You can do it in your
house.
Who
knows when we'll see karaoke again?
Yeah, karaoke may be a dead. I'd hate to say it, but I feel like karaoke.
Aisha, what's the first song you'd sing if you get to go to karaoke? What's the first song that you'd want to perform at karaoke?
How about you, Tim?
And if it's allowed back.
What song would you perform, Tim?
Oh, if the first karaoke night is gonna be really live, so I'd be live. I'd probably
have a whole list ready to go.
I'd pull out something like My Girl or Valerie. Those songs are heaters.
Okay.
Our place going nuts.
Okay. I'd probably do like the traditional Spice Girls.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
And everybody goes for a smoke.
Oh!
Wow.
Yeah, I should never answer.
It's like, Tim, you don't smoke. I do now. I'm just kidding.
That's funny.
Oh my goodness. So what do you guys think? It's been going around for a bit about this cheating respectfully. Respectful cheating.
Dad!
Sorry, what was that?
Respectfully cheating, or cheating respectfully.
Cheating respectfully. Can you give some background?
I can try. So I don't know if you guys have seen all over Instagram. There was this, I think it's a show that's coming out sometime, or it's out already, I don't know. But it's a group of girls talking about cheating respectfully. So what that is,
okay. I vaguely remember.
Yeah,
but keep going, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm trying to remember what she said. There's something about, don't get her pregnant. This is what she said. Don't get her pregnant. Don't let me find out. And something about her having respect for me, in a way. Something like that. And I was just like, I get it. But at the same time, I was just like, why even cheat? And then on top of that, it's like, well, you could be because you're not getting something, like you're not giving something to your husband or vice versa. This is the way I see it. The reason why you would cheat.
What do you mean she's not giving anything to the husband? What do you mean by that?
I feel like, I don't know, maybe he's not, or maybe she's not interested in what he's doing in his life, and he just went out to find someone that's interested in what he's doing. So they connected that way, and just happened to be, you know what I mean? Like, you build a relationship with another person, and then start with that person, and then
There's some
stuff happens.
people that don't really believe in they don't really believe in monogamy, or at
Yeah,
least they're like all men are gonna do that, right? And so if, like
right.
if I can't stop you, there's a way that it should be done,
Hmm.
and that's kind of where she's coming from, right?
Pretty much.
Aisha said consenting adults are just that.
Now,
Hmm. Do you feel like it's always the guy though? Do you think that there's any men out there that kind of share the same mentality that that female does?
no,
I knew you would say that.
I shouldn't have said nothing.
I knew you'd say that though. That's funny. I knew the answer would be no. I just wanted to hear you say it.
Well, that's just a product of our egos. Like we just don't.
Yeah.
Most of the time,
There's
like
no guy sitting down saying,
unless you feel
it's
like you
okay if
knocked
she
it out.
cheats once, she doesn't get pregnant for some other guy and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
There's no guys out there saying that. You
Okay,
don't think?
there. Okay, yes, there are.
Okay.
There are guys that swallow that,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
but yeah, there's names for those
Honestly,
guys.
and what's the name?
Come on, Tim.
What's the,
Let's
what's
be
the name,
real.
Tim?
Oh my god, it's a beta cuck simp.
Oh,
Okay. I actually saw, I think it was a couple of days ago, it was this story about this Jamaican guy who had 4 kids. And he was with this girl since they were like teenagers. She got pregnant when she was 17. I think he was a year older than her or something at the time.
okay.
And over the years, in these weird little situations, he'd take the kid to the doctor's office or something, and they had a different last name, or they didn't have his last name. Anyways, he did a paternity test, and I think it was 1 out of the 4 kids was actually his. But he knew that the girl had been cheating over the years, but he always just forgave her and was like, I love her, so I'm going to stay with her. But he just thought all the kids was his. Or I think for maybe 1 or 2 of the kids, he wasn't entirely sure. But he
Right.
found out that 3 out of the 4 kids aren't his, and they've been together for years. And now he's saying he's devastated and he can't stay with her. And I thought that was
But
pretty crazy. So to me, that's kind of like a guy knowing his girl's been out there doing stuff, and he's just like, "Meh, whatever, I love her." So
so it took you no. So it took him to find out that only one child
yeah,
was his.
the oldest kid is 17, and they had the kid at 17 and 18, so they're like what, 30, 34? So
Hmm.
mid 30s. And yeah, I found that quite interesting. I was like, wow.
But you knew she
Tim,
was
thoughts
cheating.
on that? What did you say,
Well,
Danny?
he knew that she was cheating.
Well, there were murmurs in the community, and I mean, he had
Okay.
his suspicions. And actually,
Okay.
no. Actually, there was a part that said one time he did actually catch her in the act, apparently, but he stayed with her. So to
Hmm.
me, this kind of sounds like the equivalent of what that chick was
Yeah.
saying, right?
Yeah.
The
I
thing
do
is,
think there's
like, you
some
know,
men out there with the
like
same
people are
mentality.
well
I
and
do think
capable.
that. Pardon me, Tim?
People are well and that's what Tim faces all the time. I'm trying. Oh, like we know it. Okay, our ego. Okay,
The ego of
there's
most men.
different levels of dudes, right?
Oh,
Different
Right.
levels,
Right.
right? There's that, you know. There's gonna be a dude that take like because one of the things that we do when you really love somebody is you kind of idealize them,
Okay.
and if you've built and then it's or like put them on a pedestal,
Right.
and if you do that when somebody's on a pedestal they can't really do much wrong and you will justify a lot of behaviors if you have them there. But a lot of putting somebody on a pedestal has to do with your own self-worth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I hear that, I don't want to hear none about a love thing, because like then you, if you caught them, you would sit them down. You'd be like, hey, if you're gonna do this, let's make some parameters.
Right.
But if you're just gonna walk around oblivious, that's more on you. You know, you can't control what anybody does.
Right.
But you can control what you accept or what you're going to be willing to accept.
True.
You know, and like for me, nah. No. Just don't let me find out. Because here's the thing, I'm not going to be snooping. Like, I'm not going to be snooping.
You're not that guy.
No, if I feel like something's off, because I'm a little bit sensitive, right? And so a lot of the times, you see it or you feel it. I would say you feel it in the treatment before the act even happens. And I'm like, yo, what's wrong? What's going on? Like, I know, like, fortunately and unfortunately, you notice things, and then you see that, and it's like, if I'm not.
Sorry, I was just gonna ask. You don't think the treatment can be right between the partners, and then they still go out there and do whatever?
Because you said
the person on the receiving end is gonna feel
that we are.
Treatment's different.
Like, for me, I just know I'm super sensitive, and you just see things, and especially if someone's being deceitful. Like, again, you guys are a lot better at it than us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've seen people who I know they're doing some stuff, and when you see them and a girl, she out there and posting, my man is so bad, and you well and know. It's like, oh my god. And I've seen guys do that too. But
right.
Like, I think when it happens to us, like, the way that we feel it and experience it is different. Like, that's why most don't put up with, like, if they put up with it in silence. They're not gonna be like blasting it. Oh my god, I can't believe he cheated. That's shame on me.
Right.
You know? So
I'm just gonna read some of the comments here. Tanya said, "A, she for the streets, and he's okay with that. Pick your own stale cheese and mind your business."
But okay, hold on. She says, why do we think it's justification? Some people are simply okay with it. If they're okay with it, it's not cheating, right? If you have an arrangement, like, that's the way it should be done.
But maybe it's not. I don't even think it's an arrangement.
Like, some people it's open, or some people it's
some
like...
some people it is open, but what if it's not open, but the person knows, but they're just like, you know what? It is what it is. That doesn't necessarily mean it's an arrangement, though. To me, if it's an arrangement, then I feel like both parties should be able to go out there and do what they want to do.
You know, if there's an arrangement, isn't there parameters?
An open relationship, then, if they're both doing it, no, would that not be considered an open relationship?
That's an open
if they're both doing it,
yeah.
If there's an arrangement,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, like not for me. No, just hide it real good. I never find out. That's good. That's what
the girl was saying, right?
I never find out.
Yeah. In the video, she was saying, just don't let me find out.
When I'm done,
yeah.
I'll help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aisha said, then it's ethically non-monogamous. And Tanya said, some arrangements are unspoken.
Well, you know what? And that might be culture. You know, that might be culture. Like, I was talking to this one friend, and they were saying that, like, people would see married people out, and they're not with, and no one even bats an eye. Oh, that must be their sweetie. Whereas here, it's like, uh-oh.
Right.
But, I guess there's some things culturally, but, like, honestly, like, I don't want that to be unspoken. Like, make a chore be unspoken, not other people all up in my... No.
Tanya said, think of our grandparents or mine. And Aisha said,
Yeah.
my culture is like that. A man can have as many wives he can afford to support. So
Hold on.
there you go.
Yeah. I don't know if
Okay, but then that's different. That's different too. See, then many was that's polygyny, right?
mhm.
So
No.
there's the polyamory community. There is the there's ethically non-monogamy. There's open marriages. There's all kinds of things.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But if like to me, if you're screeching around the corner and hiding and all that other stuff, that's just deception, and that's just not cool. Like if I'm in a place where it's okay for somebody to like be just openly keeping something from me and deceiving me, like where am I in my life? Like where am I?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And because I do think though, for whatever alternative lifestyle you're down with, there's
Hmm.
somebody out there, multiple people out there that are going to be exactly cool with whatever thing you're into. Take
Right.
the
Mhm.
time and find them. Don't go
Hmm.
Yep.
messing around with people
Well, that's
and
what
then
I keep
acting
saying. I'm
all
like,
doe-eyed when
there's
they're
what,
hurt.
almost 8 billion people in the world.
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, there's probably a lot of people who are like you and me out there.
Yeah.
What are they saying?
Yeah. And again, I would say that like our grandparents, um, it is one of those unspoken things.
Mhm.
They just know that the men in the community. That's what they do.
Well, especially
And
when babies are popping up.
listen, my granduncle, he was like my grandfather, right? My grandfather passed when my mom was 8, so he was kind of that kind of grandfather for me. Um,
Right.
he had his wife. They had 8 kids together. He had a keeper that he built a house for, literally just up the winding road, walking distance. She had 8 kids for him too, and then he had another
The exact
17 or
amount.
18 kids on top of that,
Wow.
Wow.
like it was nothing.
Mm.
But like, them kind of things can't go on today, man. That's crazy.
Wow.
And that, you see what you say? Really, it's the deception that hurts more than the act. 100%.
Mhm.
100%. You know what? Like again, hindsight's 2020,
Kenya said, well,
and in
damn.
most cases, it's like, are you going to go to your monogamous relationship and say, hey, you know what? I'm thinking I need a little bit more. And I
Mhm.
just came to you and I decided to be really honest with you because I know how much you love me, and I know how much you'd be okay with it. You should be okay with this because you love me.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time,
Mhm.
people shift and
I do
move and
feel like there's
change.
some people out there in the moment who would, again, it depends on the individual, because there's some people who would be like probably upset about it but would respect that the partner came and mentioned that to them.
And
And
you know
then
what?
then
And
it's that partner's choice to be like, nah, I can't do this, or you know what, let's see if there's something we can figure
Mhm.
out here.
I know this is going to sound kind of carnal, but to me, I
Mhm.
think that's the pinnacle of closeness and of relationship. If you can go to somebody and
Hmm.
it speaks to the nature of your relationship. If you can go to them and say something that is that almost counterculture to what we
Right.
know here, and
Hmm.
you could say to them, this is how I'm feeling, and this is where I'm at. And then that other person could look at them and tell them their truth, and just even bringing it up doesn't torpedo the whole foundation. That is that's a really low percentage of relationships, in my opinion. But I think
Hmm.
that that's if you're gonna spend the rest of your life with somebody, I think that's that kind of level of honesty that people should be going for.
Mm.
That's what I think.
Mhm.
That's what I think. Like that'd be, you know,
What you're saying is that's a ride or die.
That's somebody who loves you.
There you go.
Like, you know what I mean? For better or for worse. You know, for better,
But
for
then,
better lifestyle, for worse lifestyle, for better thoughts, better ideas, for worse ideas,
yeah,
for better
but then like
feelings, for
let's
worse feelings.
let's say on the flip side, the person does come to you honestly and mentions all this, and then the person's like, I'm out. That doesn't necessarily mean that they don't love the person.
Which is, you're right,
Yeah.
but because it's also a testament if somebody will think it over and say it's not cool, and then they could both be like, because again, if you're with somebody, I would say
Mhm.
that, and you're dealing with something that's that pressing for you,
Mhm.
um, then it's almost effort versus reward. Or do you know what I mean? Now it's this balancing act. Here's this person that I've been building with.
Mhm.
Do I want to lose them for this niche thing? And
Mhm.
another person has to
Right.
say that too. Do I want to
Right.
lose them just because you know what I mean? They want to go hang out with their coworker every once in a while. Like,
Mm.
So
do you
Tanya
really
said in
want to
the
lose them?
comments, but that is what it should be. Bring your desires, but with the understanding that your partner is not obligated to go along with all of them. That's the respect. That's what Tanya said.
Mhm.
Yes, that is
I just want to say
and
something real quick.
respect.
Yeah, listening. And where is
So if you guys
everybody? Why is no one hopping on the link?
share the
Post
link,
that link again.
You guys could
share the
talk. If
link.
you don't want to be seen, you don't have to be seen, but it'd be nice to
Yeah,
hear you guys. And
that's what I was
that's
gonna say.
oh, sorry, my bad.
That's okay. It's all good.
Great minds think alike.
Yep.
Great minds think alike.
But I find that sometimes, that whole having your cake and eat it too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to get to, especially as men, we got to get to that place where our integrity matters more than our perception. You know, like
Elaborate.
I've seen it. I've seen it. Like you want to feel like you want to look like the relationship guy, the lovey relationship guy, but you
Mm-hmm.
also want to, you know, pee on every tree that you see. The two, the you know, the, the
So
two
we're
don't
we're
really
dating.
coincide.
I said you want to
You
pee
know,
on
no,
everything.
seriously, you want to go and
No,
have
I
the
get
whole
what I
family
get what you're
thing.
saying. It was just the analogy was hilarious.
Yeah.
You know what? My kids are in the room. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. No, I got it. I got it. I got it.
um, but God knows they figured that out. Maybe not Ellie though.
Oh, Kendra, do you want to say what the link is for again?
Oh, the link. Yes, guys. So tonight it's an open discussion. So we're not heavily scripted tonight. Tonight's about you guys. So if you guys have any questions or any topics that you want us to discuss, just drop them in the comments, or we do have the link there if you guys want to be a part of the live. So that's what the link's for, Tanya.
Hang on. You can continue now. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. Did you talk about me? I just mentioned you, Ellie. Okay, hold on a second.
So yeah, if you guys, if there's anything that you want to talk about or anything you've seen on social media or anything you want our advice on, feel free.
You
That's
don't
what
show your
tonight's
face.
about.
Sorry, guys.
Okay. You don't have to show your face. You can change your name when you come in.
Yeah, it's totally
You
up
can do
to you.
whatever you want to do. So you can be anonymous.
We're flexible.
Yep.
Or if you're camera shy or you don't want to talk, drop a comment or something you want us to discuss in the. Tanya said, "Nah, that's." Oh my gosh. She said the current conversation is solid.
Well, come on and share your opinion then.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what though? Like honestly, okay. Let's be real.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we're here for.
You know, I I don't want to like. I'm not giving myself a pass for my horning ways. I'm not giving myself a pass. It's just it was different, but the effects are the same. You know,
Right.
Like I wasn't out there, I wasn't the village ram. That's what they call it in Grenada. I wasn't the village ram. I didn't ram at all, until I got married, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, just the way that marriage, like the way that things kind of were for
Mm-hmm.
me, I kind of lost it. Like I kind of lost it. I was really like I really believed everything that I was told, and then I wanted, and then I thought like because I saw my parents' marriage, like I always say that I remember one argument, there was a big argument where they were actually upset with each other, but then I remember the only other time that I remember my mom being upset with my dad is when he put vinegar in this other jug and then she poured it over her favorite plant and it died. And
Oh wow.
yeah, and that's like that. Like I didn't see a lot of those. So I kind of thought that was how it was supposed to be, right?
Hmm.
But again, it doesn't excuse like when you go in and you're and I have these preconceived ideas for what marriage is going to be,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's not, and then I lose I lose
But
my
the thing is,
senses. That's not anybody's fault.
you said to him that you can only recall those two incidences. But
Hmm.
what if there were other things behind the scenes that you're just not aware of? Mind you, I don't
Mm.
know. I'm not
Yeah,
saying that your parents have
Yeah.
issues or anything like that, but that
Yeah.
could
um,
also be the case, right?
and it likely is the case. But then
Right.
that's also okay. So they didn't fully shield. You just had the idea that they were dealing with something. So say
Okay.
on the 1,000 times a week that we would go to church,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they would send us inside they give us a key and we go inside first and they sit down in the car and they would
Mm-hmm.
talk and they, maybe 20 minutes, half hour later, they come inside.
Right.
They likely could have been maccoing or talking about something they saw,
Right.
or there's a chance that they were arguing about something.
Right.
But,
Mm-hmm.
that they,
So Aisha
for
says
what it was
marriage
like,
is
so just
overrated.
what I was exposed to, it wasn't like sunshine and rainbows and frolicking through the meadows or anything like that. It was
Mm-hmm.
still
Right.
real, but it
Right.
just was. They were just in lockstep with how they moved.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the longevity. You know, you know.
I hear you.
Yeah, I had to like I asked my mom. I'm like, yo, because my dad ain't an easy dude, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I remember asking her, I'm like, yo, how did you do it? And this is after I'm
Mm-hmm.
separated and everything. How did you do it? And she
Mm-hmm.
said, like the Grenadian version of you pick your battles. You know, like
Right.
she's like, I know who he is. And you pick your battle. And I'm sure like he's the same way with her,
Right.
right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, that was not my experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't wait till I was 40 something years old to like settle down and to think. I did that, when I was
Right.
25 and get married when I'm 28.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it kind of sounds like excuses because it's not. There is no excuse. But
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I learned is when you respect yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you're concerned about your integrity. And that integrity doesn't mean that your lifestyle is going to be acceptable to everybody, but
Mm-hmm.
it is that I'm not faking what I do. I'm not going to fake again, and that's one of the things for me. If I'd rather be ethically non-monogamous, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I say that as in like you're open to the fact that this isn't exclusive and I'm not exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, than I want to get her, so I'm gonna tell her, oh, love you, love you, love you. It's only you. Meanwhile, you're
Right.
just dogging.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
But
not
I
love you,
feel
love you, love you, cheating and then posting lovey-dovey pictures. Like, no,
right.
man.
But I feel like the lens that people view marriage with in this day and age is completely different to what it used to be. Because you talked about the longevity, of like your parents' marriage and stuff like that. And again, I'm just using them as an example, but I'm not saying that, they don't have a good marriage. But I feel like some people of a certain demographic and people who got married way back when, I think that's just kind of all a lot of them knew and know, which is why there is that longevity. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because sometimes you hear about old couples who've been together for years and years, 50 years or whatever, and they just stuck with each other because that's
That's
all
what
they
you
knew.
do.
But
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily
Doesn't mean
mean
the quality
that
was there.
exactly doesn't mean the quality was there or the intimacy. But in this day and age, we kind of view marriage with a different lens. There's like so many other factors at play.
It's
And I
true.
just feel like now people just, not that they don't care, but they don't necessarily feel like this is what I have to do kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it's just a different time. It's a different mentality. Cause what did I should say? I should said divorce rates are down now because less people get married.
Well,
So
it's still it's still rated on a per capita basis, and
right, right.
that rate is
Mm-hmm.
still, that percentage is still climbing.
Right.
But now, marriages aren't for survival anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the dynamic is different. Like, the women have their own money. They have their jobs. They've, like, they're having less kids. People are
We
having
got
less children.
options.
So
We got
that kind of that kind of matters too.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
No, I hear ya.
today's,
Maintenance.
today's,
Oops.
but you don't have to. But here's the thing: you don't have to be married. You don't have to be married to be a cheating to be a cheating person. Like, for it to be devastating. Like, someone could be there for 6 months and find out that Ray, and it's devastating.
Mm-hmm.
So it's before you even get to marriage, and that's just like, I don't get cheating while you're dating. I don't really get that. Like, you can just dip. You don't have
So,
to
so
separate your.
what you're saying is cheating while you're dating is different versus cheating while you're married.
It's equally as devastating, but I don't get why you would. When if you're not happy with them, you could just dip.
Mm. I hear you.
So are you talking about cheating at the beginning of the relationship when you're not sure what you are yet? Or are
If
you
you're not
talking
sure
about
what you
cheating?
are yet, are you Is it cheating?
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
there you go. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
I think
I
people
guess
are
I
more
guess there
careful.
doesn't necessarily have to be a timestamp, but if you guys say you're exclusive, like
Yes.
Yeah.
that's what you
Yeah,
mean,
Yes.
right?
that, yeah.
Because there's some
Yes.
people who meet each other and 3 months in they're together, or a month in they say that they're
Mm,
together, they're exclusive. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Versus someone who's been dating someone for 2 years or whatever the case may be, right?
Hmm.
Now, it's
Um,
funny. I don't know. Like, it's one of the realizations I had in the last few years. So you guys are gonna laugh at me. There's some dudes that I know, and I
I'll
might
try
have
not
said
to.
this here before. But there's some
Okay.
dudes I know that I thought were like, yo, that dude's like Don Juan. This guy knows how to talk to the ladies. Man's like,
Mm,
yo, I'm there to, look at, watch him and take notes, because, and then you find out they just lie. They just lie.
that's
They
mm,
all
just
they
say,
do.
oh, I love you. Oh my God, no, from time I saw you and I wanted you. And they just speak all this, like literally like the serpent in the garden, just finesse. And I
the
was like, wait a
serpent
minute,
in the garden.
I thought it was personality and game or whatever. And it's
Mm.
not like, nah, man. Yo, I wouldn't do this. Like, I tell her I wanted to marry her. And then, and I'm like,
Oh
all
wow.
these years I thought you were just
You're
so.
like trying to take notes, trying to figure out what
And it's like,
the
nah, man, you just tell them that you're in
the
love. You tell them
magic
you want to
was.
get married. You tell them you just want to be with them and you want to build a future with them and do all that stuff. And I'm like
All it was is that they had lyrics, is what you're saying.
lyrics.
That's what you're saying. They
Yeah.
had lyrics.
I'm like, but at the same time, I'm sitting there like, you mean girls are falling for Fresh Prince as the lyrics, like 1992, Angel Fall from the Sky, Foolish, and people are falling for this?
Oh
Oh
my
my God.
gosh. What did I
But no,
should
I tell
say?
you, man, I remember I went out one time and there was this dude that I knew from high school, like this guy. I remember, like, I didn't like hate on him, but I was just like, this dude. every girl loved him. And we went out, and now we're like grown men. It's a few years ago, and we were out. He's actually a little older than me, and we were out. It was the last time the Oilers were in the playoffs, and I saw this guy. He's married, and I saw him try to like talk to this girl, and this girl absolutely shamed him. Like a part of my childhood, a part of my high school years died at that moment. Because I was like, oh man, this guy has the chops. Yo, this girl destroyed this guy.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you don't have to like. People just. I think that things go better when you're authentic. They go better. They're stronger. They're more. And you get more respect, and there's going to be more longevity if you are authentic. And if at the very least you'll be respected because you speak your truth.
Right.
You know, it's the same thing like racism. Like someone is, they don't like you because of whatever. At least I know. Thank you. Right.
Yeah.
Then the person that's screeching around the corner and all the deception and all the faking thing and all that snake stuff. No, I've done that. It is, you know. The deleting the texts and all that stuff. Oh my God, I'm never doing that.
There's some comments down here. Alex said, "Do you believe it's easier to lie than break someone's trust?" And Tanya said, "Lying is a personality." And Aisha said, "Of course, it's easier to lie. Like my guy, control your deficiencies." SMH. Shake my head.
My guy, control your deficiencies. I'm gonna use that. That's good.
Control your deficiencies. I like that too. I'm using that.
Yeah, man, that's good. So many people lack authenticity. It's true. Oh my God, gosh, I should have saved it. There was this comment that I saw, and it was saying that like media and social media is, I forgot how they put it, but basically. It's basically like the window shopping of life. Like, do you know what I mean? It's literally just the best. Like, it's just the best picture you can possibly put out. That's what people put out, and then and people are just willing to do it. Like people, like I don't.
They do it so much until they believe it.
The thing, okay,
exactly.
Like, but everything comes to light. Like everything. If you tell her, yo, girl, man, I'm gonna jam you tonight, and we going all night. It's like
always a lie.
Come over. It's just like she knows. Like you that's just funny. We know you're a liar, and she could literally take that info if she wanted to, and you know, like why lie? Be
Authenticity for me is always an interesting topic because we throw that around all the time. People are like, you got to be authentic. People should be authentic. But I honestly feel, I honestly feel like a part of authenticity, there's perspective. You can't think about authenticity without thinking about perspective. Because don't get me wrong, like I can see someone and they could just genuinely be themselves and they're saying this is my authentic selves, but I don't necessarily recognize that or catch their vibe. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So to me, when I see someone move a certain way and they're like, that's them being authentic, and I see them move a certain way, I could be like, nah man, that's fake or whatever, fickle, or I don't view that as authentic for whatever reason. You know, so whenever I hear people throw that around, like, I think a part of it is your perspective, because you see certain people and maybe because it doesn't line up with what your values are, or again, maybe it's a cultural thing. You see certain flexes and you're just like, nah, they ain't being authentic because it's not parallel to what you know. You guys got what I'm saying?
Right. And I think over time, over time you see authenticity, right?
Right.
Yeah, like if they're true, you know what I mean? If they're true to how they move and what they say, then you know, because everybody can say whatever. But over time you'll see how it, you know,
And that's the thing. There's so many factors, right? It depends on
Yeah.
how long you're around those people, and when you see them, how they react in different situations. You know, how do they react when it's good? How do they react when shit hits the fan? You know,
Right.
so
Yep.
yeah.
But and the thing is, like, there's authenticity and then there's lying, right? There's, you may not tell you may not give everybody everything that's in your mind, because maybe they can't handle it, maybe they just
Right.
don't need to know.
Or
And
maybe
then
they
there's
don't believe it.
then there's just lying.
Maybe they don't believe it too. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like sometimes you say stuff and people don't believe you, and you're just like, well, what more do I do at that point? You get what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
That happens too. So
Now,
and then to me, it's like, well, that's on you, because people are like, I just want you to be real. I just want you to do this. And then you say these things and then they're just like, nah, that can't be, or you know what I mean?
That's
So
a
then you're
sub,
like,
yeah.
well, what?
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
There's but I would say, though, when it comes to relationships, like, there's authenticity, and someone you're around, like, if you're really paying attention, you're seeing their movements.
Right.
If you're around them a lot, right?
Of course.
Now, I don't care what culture where you are or what location you are on this planet, deception and hypocrisy aren't cool. Like, they're just not. People expect you to mean what you say.
Right.
And they don't want you to, if you're close to them especially, they don't want to feel deceived. Right. They don't want to feel misled. Omission can be lying, especially if the information that you're omitting really would matter to the person on the decisions that they would make for themselves.
Right.
I
can agree with that.
Like, if I knew that you had 6 other boyfriends, maybe I wouldn't talk to you.
Why do you say it like that?
No, but someone's like, well, I didn't. Like,
no, I get that. Because I've had situations like that for sure.
I didn't expect you to have 6 other.
Right.
Right? Like, here's the thing. One of the dopest quotes. A lie isn't a side of the story. It's just a lie. I heard that. I got that quote off The Wire, and it's just like, there's people like, well, you have to understand my point of view. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Like, if you had a whole other family, like, I'm just not thinking that I should ask you, hey, do you have a whole other family? Do you have a whole other girlfriend? Do you have a whole, If you wait,
shouldn't that be a conversation already, though? Shouldn't you ask that anyway? Just if you have a feeling that someone has another life out there.
Just wait. Sometimes some people are so good at deception that how they deceive you disarms you from even asking those questions. Do you see what I mean? If someone is completely love bombing somebody, is it going to be on your mind to ask him, hey, do you got like a boyfriend and a girlfriend
too? It depends on the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't even say you're going to directly be like, yo, are you doing this? But in a roundabout way, I'd be like, hey, is everything good? Like, you know what I mean? But that's just me. That's the type of person that I am. I wouldn't necessarily go out there like if I didn't have a reason.
These comments.
You guys come on the live.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, guys. Come on the live. Throw the link down there again. Throw the link down there again.
There are reviews on People Like Business. Oh. But you see, that's where...
says, oh my God, Tim, so true.
This is what we need. This is why we have to rebuild community.
Sorry, I missed that, Danny.
Sorry. Kendra, I'm going to put the link. When you hit reply, you should be able to pin it.
Oh, okay. Let's try that. I want to hear these comments. I don't want to read them anymore. So let's go.
So, I think it was Priya. Priya said, I wish there were reviews on People Like Business.
Amen.
There was a time, right? There was a time when the community, if you were in the community and you had shady business practices,
No, it
the
didn't allow me to
community
pin.
would deal with
It
it.
just took me to the app. I can't pin
You
it.
know, they would tell each other, hey, you can't deal with this person. They've messed up this
If you
person, this
like
person,
it.
this person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
this is where they're at. Like, so it mattered. Your ethics mattered. Now we're in
Right.
a place where someone could be like, we're in a place that we just because we're partying and sitting and drinking with one another, we feel like we got community, and that's not just it. We got people that, well, hey, you know, they just completely destroyed your life.
Right.
You know, they didn't do anything to me though.
Right.
But it's just like,
Okay,
yo, the Bible says, yo,
what about the flip side? And we'll stay on the whole business analogy here. So let's say, for instance, you've been going to a store, I don't know, for years, and you enjoy the customer service and stuff. But there was this one time that you went there, or let's say they got a new worker at the store or something, and like that one time or those couple times that you went there for whatever reason, it just wasn't good. When you go to put that review in, are you just going to talk about the negative? Or are you going to say, you know what? And again, let's treat people like a business. If we
Right.
did do that for each other or our relationships or past partners or whatever, would you put a genuine review and say, you know what? This person is good at this. Or they do this, they do this, they do this. But these are their flaws. Or are you just going to focus on the negative?
a lot of
A lot of people would
it's
just
a maturity. It's a
a lot of
maturity
people
thing.
would
You
just
gotta
talk
be
about the
objective.
negative for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I was gonna say. It depends on the state that you're in that you're writing that
That's
review.
true. That's true. That is true. That is true. Because none of us are perfect. And Tim, you posted something recently. What did you say? What did it say? What the heck did it say? It was something along the lines of you can be a good person, but how did you
Oh,
say
it
it?
was good people aren't perfect people.
Right. You know what I mean? So, and that's kind of what I'm getting to, is that you can be a good person, but hold on. Tanya said, I don't kiss and tell, and I mind my business. Nisha says, you misbehave at night and can bet you go get calls. What? About it in the morning. Come on, guys. We want to hear you. Even if we're just hearing your voice.
Yeah.
You know what? It's funny though. But okay. Here's the thing. I remember, like, here's okay. I think that especially as a guy, especially somebody, if you have a past, if you're really serious about somebody, the best thing to do if you're new to them and you look at them, you be honest from the jump.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
You be honest from the jump. If you got some stuff, because there was this one experience where I was dating somebody, and long time after, someone came to them with some stuff about me, but I was good because it was like on date 2, I told them that dirt.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? And I think that like, and I tell a lot of my girlfriends, like, you'll see the seriousness with the, and that's a part of authenticity. When I come and I tell you something that you didn't know, you didn't have to know, but I'm saying, like, I don't want you to be in a position where you feel unsafe with me. Because that's one of the things about deception. Just deception makes you question everything. That's why deception is where relationships go to die. Because now it's just like, okay, they said this. Did did he mean it when he said this? Did he mean it when he went there? Did she really, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I hear you.
And I think that for it's it's important. I think, and ladies, you can tell me, like, one of the big things that it doesn't get talked about a lot, but what I've noticed is that she needs to feel safe, and people don't really
Yep.
say that nowadays. They don't really talk like that. Like, I want to feel, they don't say that, but um, but like emotionally, and also for her pride or her, like, she doesn't want to feel, because sometimes maybe that thing is old and you didn't tell her, but she might feel embarrassment over that, and that doesn't
Right.
make her feel. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and then there's the haters and the this and the that, and like, if you're serious, you open the book, so when you walk, when I'm not there, she could walk tall. If anybody starts talking about me, and say, "No, listen, nah, we good, we're
Yeah.
good," because he, and regardless of the past,
Right.
my father had four, four kids before he met my mom. He's 20 years on her, and lots of people were just like, that you're gonna, be careful. He used to be. We knew about
Right.
this man from wherever,
Right.
but my father wrote my mom a letter before they got married, and he laid. They knew each other only 5 months before they got married, and he
Wow.
laid everything out. And one of the things he said, "Yo, I don't have anything right now, but I got
Oh,
two
Jesus.
hands."
Okay. I
You know what I
have to
mean?
read this comment. I have to read this comment because
Where is it? Which one?
it's from my mom, June. She says, they tell you all the dirt, but still turn out to be dirty, dirty.
Lord.
Woo! Okay.
They're like, so they tell you the dirt to just say, I'm very capable of dirt. Don't be surprised when I heap some
Don't be
on
surprised
you.
when did that actually come? Is what June's saying. Okay, we hear you loud and clear.
Lord.
Woo! All right. That's funny.
But man,
Does anyone have any other topics they want to discuss? Sorry, just a little.
Yeah.
Stay there.
I just wonder, don't people want to, like get old with somebody? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, really, like something. It's like we feel like we're gonna be like here and vital and strong and forever. You know?
These comments are funny.
Tell your dirt early, make it easier to cheat later. Lord, baby, I don't tell you everything. Why you go believe that? Oh my gosh, I don't know. I can't say nothing to that.
Oh, good.
Still don't see anyone else here on the live. I'm a little choked,
Yeah, I
guys.
know.
I'm a little
I know.
Don't get me wrong. The comments are popping and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. It's nice to hear a voice with those comments.
Yeah, it'd be nice to hear a voice. It'd be nice to see someone. I just feel like someone needs to break the ice. Someone needs to break the ice and pull up.
Exactly.
It's nice. It's good vibes over here.
So much fun.
We're very hospitable people. We got you. It's okay.
You don't have to show your face. You can hide your camera.
There are good relationships still, and marriage is still beautiful and worth fighting.
Yeah, there is. Of course.
I remember, was it 2019 when my mom fell sick? And man, when I seen my dad, like it's a beautiful thing when it works. And I think a lot of them could work, but I don't. But you have to be a lot. I think everybody has to be way more intentional about it working.
Right.
Way more conversations at the beginning, like on the multiverse group, there was someone asked me about falling in love, and like I just became a lot more pragmatic, because that initial and it, how they call it the honeymoon phase. I thought the honeymoon phase was the first phase. It's not. The infatuation stage is the first phase, And that's where a lot of all this, all the songs are written and all the thing and all of that.
Yep.
But I'm telling you,
Yep.
you don't know where you're at until you get out of that stage, and then out of the honeymoon stage, and you start seeing people for who they really are.
Right.
But a lot of times people have intertwined their lives already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
And then they get in like, oh my God, 6 months. I don't want to waste 6 months. Oh my God, I want to start over.
Right.
But it's like, yo, we got a whole life.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just don't like chill during those early stages and get to know people, ask the hard questions, have the hard conversations, and then it should you should have better legs to stand on, I think.
You'd hope.
think.
You'd hope.
You'd hope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd hope.
You'd hope.
But at least like if it's not going to work, it's not going to work because
Right.
because
And then you did everything that you were supposed to, and you can walk away saying, you know what, we really did what we were supposed to, but
Yeah.
for XYZ.
Yep.
Aisha says, I love the infatuation stage.
Oh my God, that could only last for so long though, because after a while you're just like, ugh, get away.
What? You see that? Oh!
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
Oh, I saw a meme. Oh, hold on. It was like, let me find it. I'm gonna read it. Jeez, it's real short. I can't remember it off. I don't want to butcher it.
Yeah, no worries. So again, we would love to see some faces or hear some voices.
Tanya said the infatuation stage scares the crap out of me. Tanya, why is that? Tanya, why is that? I'm curious to know.
Go straight from meeting to honeymoon? Like you don't have a little... No?
Man.
I found the meme. It's find a soul that doesn't lose appreciation once they're used to you.
Wow.
Like that right there.
Well, yes, I actually saw that today as well. I saw that today on Instagram. Yep, I did see that. Read that one more time, Tim. Read that one more time.
For the people in the back.
Alright. Find a soul that doesn't lose appreciation once they're used to you.
Right.
Oh, she coming on now. She went and did a little fresh.
I do like that. I do like that.
No,
on the flip side, though, I'm just going to play devil's advocate. On the flip side to that, though, like we were saying earlier, shoot, I lost my train of thought. You were saying, if they're not authentic from the jump, then you realize certain things throughout, right? So what if what that person was showing you initially, you thought that was them being their authentic self, but then as time went on, you realize certain things about their character, and then you're like, nah, this ain't the soul for me. So you know what I mean? Like, is it, what I'm trying to say is it's not always necessarily on the person. It could just be the person.
It just could be the vibe. I get that.
Right. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? But I still think it's dope. And yes, I do like that.
I think it's more that, so when I was looking at the stages, there's the infatuation stage and the honeymoon stage. And I forgot what the next stage is called. But it's basically like a reality kind of stage. And a lot of times, once the infatuation part is there's some people that's the only part of the relationship they like. And once that part is done, it's not the same.
Yeah.
And it's like,
we all know people in our lives, I'm sure, who are like that. You know what I mean?
Say that again?
No, I was just saying, I'm sure we've all come across people in our lives who are like that. Like, they get in relationships, and then the moment things aren't, quite what it used to be, they're out and on to the next. Which, I ain't knocking anybody. That's you, do you. But you see it often. You see that often.
Well, it's that's you, do you, until, like, do you know what I mean? You're... on your face.
But then some people would just be like, that's just me actually searching for the person who's right for me. So I don't know. There's a lot of
No.
tug of war,
Yeah.
I feel, with this topic.
No,
We
hey,
have a
yeah.
guest.
There's so
just
many
wanna-
angles to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then it's like, if you're in it and you recognize, yo, this ain't for me, it's like, then why settle? Why not go to the next and see, like, if this is really what I vibe with? You know what I mean? So,
See, and that's kind of the thing where you have to be
it's
careful
tricky.
in that beginning stage.
Mhm.
Don't say too much. Don't be on the mountaintop pronouncing all you don't know them yet.
Mm.
You know,
Mhm.
you don't know them yet, man. You know what kind of things people get turned off by? You brush your teeth like that?
I know.
Why do you leave your socks by the? Why do you always put your jacket on the banister?
Mhm.
Like why do you send one line text instead of putting it all in a paragraph?
Then you gotta figure out what your non-negotiables are.
Remember the turnkey list?
Yes. Is Tanya on? Is T here?
She is. Yeah, she's here. I tried
What's
to
up?
tell you guys, but you guys were ignoring me. So, you guys continue.
Oh, no, we're good. Let's give Tanya the floor. Tanya, what's up? Can you hear us?
I don't know. Tanya?
She might be muted.
Yeah, you might have to unmute yourself. Oh.
Oh, Aisha said, I don't know how to get on. I tried. If you click on the link, it'll take you.
The link is pinned.
Struggles.
Click on the link. And then, like, what does it show up? Then there'll be a part that says join. But first it'll say, like, your camera view or your sound or whatever. Try again. It'd be
Okay,
nice
you may have
hear
to come out and come back in.
Sorry, guys. I do that a lot.
Don't be sorry.
It's me here staying hydrated. We're a hydrated group, as you can see, as you can tell.
Yes, yeah. Hi, Aisha.
Hello.
Check your mic. It might be muted. There we go. Hello?
I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hearing you guys. I don't hear anybody else. I'm talking. What? What do you mean? On my phone.
Is there something you got to do, Danny?
Nope, there's nothing on my end.
Mm-hmm.
Aw, she said she tried. Not supported by my phone. But y'all can't hear me and I'm not muted. What?
So
okay,
weird.
We're gonna have to investigate.
Yeah. Might have to come out.
Cause, well, we're using like webcams and stuff, so.
Yeah, but I'm using my phone though.
But you don't have an iPhone.
Also true.
Oh, Chanel says I can't log on. Do you have an iPhone as well, Chanel? Because well, my setup's kind of interesting, so. Because for
And I'm
me,
on my phone.
like, I'm using iOS technically, but it's through a web browser though, because it's on my computer. So
try your
this
computer
ain't
and see.
iPhone friendly. LOL. Oh, I don't. Chanel said she doesn't have an iPhone, so that's odd.
And the link doesn't work for you, Chanel?
Yeah, try sending it to Chanel again if she doesn't have an iPhone, because there has to be a setting or something that's off.
Well, the link is in the bio. It's pinned. But anyway, if it doesn't work, we'll figure it out for another day.
The link works. Yes, sorry guys, sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all good.
There was a topic that was discussed in the multiverse group
Mhm.
in regards to kids and letting them stay in the house. Um,
Mm.
and like when you punt them out and things like that. I wouldn't mind hearing some of the folks on this page or on our in our group here, the realites, um,
So what
the
was it
real
exactly?
the real hive. The,
The real life.
you know, just about like that was it's a really interesting convo, and everybody has
Real
kind of
Navy.
a different. Yeah, I like that. Everybody has a little bit of a different answer. Um,
Do you want to repeat
so
that?
just with your kids, like when they're 18 or when they're finished college, like
They're
when
out.
what?
I'm kidding.
Well,
As
I'm
soon as
gonna
they're,
say
as soon as
I'm still
they're,
at home,
as soon as
but
October
I'm
22nd
working and
comes, they're out.
contributing. I mean, is my mom still on here? Let's hear what she has to say.
Yeah, she's like, I just bought a nice suitcase for you.
Depends on the dynamics, I feel like, as well. The relationship
Yeah,
between the parents and the child,
and the child.
or the young
Mhm.
adults, or whoever, you know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
some parents and some children, unfortunately, they don't have the greatest relationship.
Yep,
You know
there's
what I
that.
mean? First, for some parents, it's just, I'm going to do this because this is what I'm supposed to do. But the moment
Mhm.
you can do for yourself, you got to be out of here. There's just some families, they just can't live under the same roof. You know
There's
what I mean?
that definitely.
Um, so I feel like that's a factor. I'm not a
Mhm.
parent, so I don't know. But like I said, I
Yeah.
I live with my parents still,
Mhm.
and we've never ever had any issues really about. But then again, I feel like it depends on the dynamics. I'm her baby. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Nah, your
Um,
mom's cool. June's cool.
Yeah.
and she is, and
And
that's
you, I,
that's exactly.
you seem okay.
I might. Um, but yeah, I think it just kind of depends on the dynamics of the relationship and what it is the parent is looking for from you once you reach a certain stage in life, and if
Yeah.
it's something that you can agree with and something that you're willing to contribute to. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
Wait,
because
wait,
for
wait.
some people,
I'm sorry, Chanel. How are you not going? I won't let them move out until I feel they're 100% ready. Please, please tell
Tanya, I
me how
think
you're
you have
gonna
to
keep
unmute
them.
your. Tanya, you're gonna have to unmute your mic. There you go.
Can you hear me
Hello.
now?
There we
yes,
go.
Okay, so
welcome.
Yay.
it does work. It's just iPhone people are special. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, Tanya, what's your thoughts on the
On
current
kicking
topic?
kids out,
Mm-hmm.
I partially agree with you that definitely it does depend on the dynamic. I
Mm-hmm.
don't see myself kicking my children out.
Mm-hmm.
My agreement with my children, so long as you're not doing things illegal, so long as you're not bringing anything damaging into my household, I'm a parent for life. I'm
Mm-hmm.
definitely doing everything I can to enable them to be independent, but I'm not kicking them out.
Right.
Hopefully, if things are ideal, I told my kids I would love to support them so that when they move out, they're potentially moving into their own homes, that they're not moving
Mm-hmm.
out to
Yeah.
rent and give a landlord money, that they're not moving out to struggle. Like, I'm not
Right.
sending my
Yeah.
kids out to the streets. And I know we
Mm-hmm.
put this magic number at 18, but really, what did we actually know at 18? Like, I left
Exactly.
home when I was
Mm-hmm.
17, and there's definitely some stuff that I wish I didn't have to learn from the streets or figure out
Mm.
on my own. Um,
Right.
Mhm.
my release from my house was, I mean, it wasn't harsh. Like, I left at 17 to go to school,
Mm-hmm.
but
Right.
still not having the protection of your parents, not having their immediate support and immediate access. Like, and I think I'll say this too, particularly in the Black community. Um, like, again, why would you put a working child out to go pay rent and put money
Mm-hmm.
in? I'm like, it's
Someone
a
else
broader
hand.
conversation about how we build wealth within our
Yeah.
community.
Right.
You
Mm-hmm.
understand? And then, like, if you have multiple children, and I've had this conversation with friends before, like, I tell my
Mm-hmm.
kids, society likes to peddle this thing about you have to go out and make it on your own. I tell my
Ah,
kids,
yo.
listen, like, my kids, I'm like, you guys have each other. Like, you don't
Right.
have to
Mm-hmm.
make it on your own. Maybe your first house is one that you guys buy as siblings, and then the
Mm-hmm.
first
Yep.
one moves out, and now you have a rental income sitting
Yep.
there for all three of you. And these are
Right.
conversations as our society we need to start pushing. Like, no, you're not leaving here to go pay
Right.
$1,300 rent to
Right.
boardwalk. Like, bah, fuck
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
mess. Not
Yeah.
happening.
And
Yeah.
I feel like in certain communities, due to different factors, a lot of the times some of these kids, they their parents are in a position to help them more sometimes than our community. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? They're
Mm-hmm.
able to, give them a down payment or help them put a down payment on a house,
More often than
at
you know.
18 or at 20 or when they gotta get out of college. So Tanya, I do definitely agree with you when you say, within our community, we definitely need to be more mindful of these things and try to flip the script,
Right.
you
And I
know.
think too, like, there's this idea that, well, like, I've definitely heard older heads like, well, I struggle, so they have to learn
Yeah.
the struggle. Like,
Right.
no,
That's
I
garbage.
These are
struggle
different
so
times.
no, seriously, I struggle so my kids do not have to struggle.
Right.
I
Right.
struggle
Exactly.
so
You
my
should
kids
want
have
better
a step up.
for the next generation.
That's
You know what
Exactly.
right.
I mean? So
Like,
I
I
don't
think
I don't agree with that at all.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think one of the most profound things that literally stayed with me before I left home, my
Hmm.
grandpa he had a conversation with each of his grandchildren before they left home. And one of the things he said was that my only expectation is that you do more with what we have given you than myself and my grandmother have been able to do with the little that we had. Because they both came from poverty, right? Like, they came from like fishing village, coconut plantation type settings. And by the time they were retired, they retired well. And then I look at my dad and my uncle, they've done a step above. So my thing is, I'm not going out here to carve a path to then send my kids 5 steps back. Like, that's not
That's
the
right.
Right.
That
plan
doesn't
here
make sense.
whatsoever.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, I stayed home. I had my thought that I'm not going to.
Don't my pants fit?
I don't want to be, especially be in the same city and struggle.
Mm.
That didn't make
Yeah.
sense because I knew guys that moved out, but they were back at their parents' house every week doing their laundry, and their parents are paying their rent, and I was like, what are you?
What is the point
Right?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you
when they could
this.
do have a more calculated situation that would benefit you in the long run?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. Like I said, I don't have kids, but I'm taking notes, guys. Like I said earlier.
You know what? So I bought a house when I was 27,
Hmm.
but I
Mm-hmm.
stayed home. Okay.
There's hope
And
for
then when I
me.
got married, I moved. I went. Pardon?
I just said I'm 27. That's why I said there's hope for me.
The house was 162.5. That is 2005 for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, but I remember moving in the next year, and like I could build, I could build things, I could renovate things, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I could clean and do all those other things, but like I remember, I'll never forget. Uh, my uh, my father-in-law came over, or he came over, and he's like, man, the house is dry, the house is dry. And I was just like, okay. He goes downstairs, he looks, we had a humidifier on our furnace. I didn't know. Right.
Right.
My dad didn't my dad didn't show me a lot of things and didn't like me going in the utility room because there was a lot of dust and I had allergies, and a lot of the things that I ended up picking up and that I do pretty decently now, he would always send me inside because he just didn't want me to have an asthma attack or want me to have an allergic reaction in the dust. And so I,
Right.
I learned it from sneak watching, and then like some of my friends. Not to go too long, but I just remember. I remember he was like, "Well, there's a humidifier there, and he's also like, your filter your filter your filter in the furnace needed changing." And I remember like, hey, I remember my ex like looking at me just like I was kind of whatless because I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just there was other little comments and things like that. It's like, hey, me and the job that I took it in Red Deer, but they kept bringing me up to Edmonton, so they ended up switching me to be at Edmonton. Like I always wanted to leave, but I didn't want to leave and be in the same city, right?
Right.
And then it was always this thing like, well, you stayed home, you don't know what it was like, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this might sound archaic, but I think that if you're going to be a man, if you're going to be a husband, or you're going to be a traditional husband in a home, depends how you
Mm-hmm.
define traditional. But I think a guy needs to have at least a year or something on his own. That year might be,
I agree.
I think
I
that
agree.
year might be backpacking in Europe, or I don't know, some sort of pilgrimage. But I think
I
more
think
so,
that
like,
should be everyone, to be
turn your
honest.
Yeah.
own.
I was gonna say.
Okay, well, yeah, you could say it could be everyone, but I can go alone, and I'm not worried about my safety, right?
Right.
And then when I'm in that house and I'm turning the key and all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like there's just certain things that is just, as a guy, that
Mm-hmm.
is still a little bit more acceptable, and the world hasn't got to that place where Kiki says she's going to Istanbul, and it's like, okay, have a great time. You're going by yourself, go for it. Even live. I know people like even living on their
It
own.
depends, because I know people my age who are doing that, who are getting up, they're booking flights, well,
Yeah,
pre-COVID, obviously, and they're just
yeah.
Yeah.
taking off, and they're going and staying in hostels, or, they met someone online and they're going and traveling. Like, they're taking those risks. But
I
again,
was
I
gonna
feel
And
like
say.
I
that could
think
be a
it's and I think
generational
that's
thing,
dope.
because I know a lot of people who've done that and who are doing that.
Yeah, like you know
Yeah.
what?
I was,
So,
And also
or
your
who
age
yeah.
group.
want
I
to
think
do that.
you got like there's a big gap between us, and I think it might be a
Mhm.
little bit more acceptable. It might be a little bit more acceptable and not seem as like crazy as it was if I heard that was one
I
of
mean,
my friends that
sometimes
was doing it.
you're kind of like, you sure you want to do that? Like, but
Yeah,
there's just some people out there. And I feel like there's a lot of people who want to do that, but won't. But there are some who are just like, this is my life and I'm going to go for it. So,
Bria
when I
does that.
when I got separated, and I lasted about a month and a half staying at my friend's house before I bought my own house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, man, that's really, even though I had kids, job, all the stuff. Really, my last house was really nice, renovated. Man, it's this house right here, right now, that I feel like I really became a man. And I think that even that one year when I bought the house, and I didn't live in it, like if I was gonna go back and do it, I would have. And
Mm-hmm.
I would have just learned to, like, because at least in my experience, um, I think that might have made things a little bit different, because at least with the way my ego is set up, there's I don't want to look punkish to my lady. I don't want her dad to come in and son me, be like, yo guy, you don't know how to do that. Nah, mm-mm. And I don't want that to happen to my sons. And I know
yeah.
that sounds. I saw a meme about a guy. He's like he. It took one pull to start a rival dad's lawnmower, and he did it in front of the rival dad's wife and kid. And that's all the meme said. And all the dudes know exactly what it is. And ego, but it's a thing. You know, it's a thing.
Yeah.
You want to be that dude, like, and I think you should.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Guys, back
Like I
me
was
up.
gonna
Is
say,
there any guys in here? Jeez.
Where's Danielle? You have sons who are approaching adulthood. What are your
yep,
thoughts? What are your
they
thoughts?
can stay here as long as they want. I am
Okay.
not. I'm not. You know, we had a conversation actually when they were 10.
hmm
That if I rather you guys live together than go live with some random people. If you guys decide to move out.
Ah,
Mhm.
and see, they kind of have a unique
unique
situation because
relationship.
they have each other, right?
Mhm.
Because they're twins.
Yeah.
And if they
Yeah.
do have a good bond and everything, I think that's cool. Because if I had a twin, I'd be like, oh, at least I got my twin. You know, I could go move out with,
Yeah.
and at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's family. So,
Of course. Yeah.
Hold
but
on,
you
I
said
gotta
you
I
wouldn't
gotta
kick
take a
them out.
second to say hi to my bestie. Hi, Karina.
Okay.
Thanks for coming on.
Uh, I also want to go back to traveling alone. Bria, my younger sister,
Mhm.
well, obviously pre-COVID, she was traveling every year for her birthday. She would go to backpack in Europe. She would stay
And
in
she just go by
hostels,
herself.
go by herself, and just meet people along the way.
Hmm.
So,
Man, that's I think that's dope.
Yeah.
I don't know what would happen
I
if
have
Ellie
I
tells
have
me
I
that she
have a
tried to go
friend.
backpacking. Oh my god.
I have a best friend who has a spirit like that as well. She's traveled, you know, to Europe and different places as well by herself. And like
yeah.
you said, meet people along the way or meet people that she's, met over social media and stuff like that. And she's
Mhm.
had some really great experiences. So
Yep. Yeah.
yeah.
The only thing that we have with her is just like, call us when you land, call us when you leave,
Yeah.
let us know where you are.
And is she good for that though? Because there's some
She is
people
good
who
for
are like,
that.
yeah, I'm
Some
gonna
yeah.
do that, and then you hear nothing, and then you're like
Yeah,
freaking out the entire time, right? So
yeah. No, she's good with that. Yeah. Well, we're almost hitting the 2-hour mark, guys.
Wow, that's our longest one, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
bit of a late
So
start,
unless you,
but
Mm.
yeah, it's all good. I feel like we should start at 7:30. That seems to
7:30.
be
No.
It really depends on the week, man. It depends
also
on
I
the
think
true.
so too.
because sometimes
true.
it's like yeah, other times it's like so. But
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Chanel said before we go, sorry, I used to island hop while I was back home, and the people I've met are still in my life. They're
That's
still in my
dope.
life. I think that's dope.
Nice.
Wish I could say that. I met people on Napster that are still in my life, and
Wow. We're way back.
I did.
Hey, I mean,
Nah,
Well,
but
I guess.
but there's that. Thanks to everybody. There was a lot of comments and a lot of
Mhm.
interactions. It was really dope.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes,
we did
it
have to
was.
pull a few teeth to get people to try and come on
Mhm.
and we'll solve all the technical stuff. But
Yeah.
but the conversation was really great, and I know
Yes,
I appreciate it.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. And I hope next time, you guys will feel a little bit more comfortable hopping on.
And see, you don't have to
That'd
show
be
your
nice.
face.
Yes.
I actually want them to show their faces.
Okay.
Even just like hearing your voices too. Like hearing Tanya, that was dope.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
for
was
sure.
dope. So Tanya said Napster on dial up real struggles, LOL.
Trust me. Trust me. I remember when I started.
Quick question. Sorry.
Yes.
Does anyone here remember high five?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have an account, but I remember it.
Oh, I had high five.
I had high five.
I had high five. This is before
Yep.
I moved. Well, how old was I? Like 13, 14, 15, I think. And I did find it some years down the road. I was able to get into the account, and then after that, I couldn't
I was
get
like,
in
it's still
anymore.
around?
Didn't
That
they
was a
bring
while
back
ago.
Planet too?
Oh yeah. That's back.
Interesting.
That's back.
High five, man.
Has anybody went on there? Or
The only reason
Facebook's
why
enough for you?
I went on it only because it came up as a what do you call it, like an ad
Man, yeah.
on Facebook. I'm like, they're
Clearly,
still
I was
back.
still in
And
Trinidad.
Yeah.
I went on, checked it out, but I didn't go
Hold
any
on,
further
I
than
want to
that.
ask a quick question. Aisha said, "Not me. I don't know what high five is." And Tanya said, "Clearly, I was still in Trinidad. LOL." Are you talking about high five? Because I knew about high five back in SKN when I was in school down there.
SK what? What's the
St. Kitts Nevis.
St. Kitts.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. But the reason why I went back and tried to get on my high five is because I just wanted the pictures off of it. We had some crazy photos in there. And to
You and
this day,
pictures,
I
I love
have
it.
regret. I have regret because when I was able to get back into the profile, I should have just saved them.
You should have.
But I regret it. But everyone go and Google high five. It was kind of like Facebook, sort of.
Mm-hmm. It was like the first Facebook kind of.
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
oh, MSN was the thing.
Yes.
Oh,
AOL.
I
AOL
know
had
I'm
a
younger
market.
than some of you guys here,
MSN
but
was my
MSN,
downfall.
I'm telling you, at 12, MSN, between 12 and like 15, MSN was it for me.
MSN had a long run.
Every day after school in junior high.
Yep.
And like the beginning of school for a little bit.
So MSN
been
was
like 08, 07. Whew!
See, I had MSN and I had Yahoo.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
didn't
had
have
Yahoo Messenger. And Yahoo Messenger was using GIFs way back then. But actually, but MSN was too. And man, there was this
But I
one
found
GIF.
Yahoo was better though.
Yahoo was better. It was.
Yeah.
But again, like your computer comes with MSN, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had a stranglehold. But there was this one GIF of this black kid, and he boxes a guy, and then comes back and boxes him again. Oh my god, that was one of my favorite reaction GIFs. Oh my god.
I feel like that GIF is still around. I feel like I've seen it somewhere.
Tanya said I met my first boyfriend on MSN chat. Story for another day.
All right, we should talk about this.
I want to hear about that. I spent hours on MSN. I think it's pretty bad how much time I spent on MSN and YouTube before YouTube is what it is today.
Right.
I spent a lot of time on YouTube. Like people who are super successful now, like Justin Bieber and stuff. I remember watching that kid. Well, we're like the same age, but I remember watching that kid just watching his little YouTube videos. So, yep.
I have Hotmail too, Shara. I just don't use it.
So do I.
I don't use it for anything serious.
I use it if people are gonna send me junk mail. That's the email I send them to.
Shame.
Or like when you go to a store and they're like, "Can you give me your email?"
Hotmail.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry,
that's
Tim?
the email address I give.
And I said my Facebook is attached to Hotmail. So
same with
yeah.
Yeah, same with mine.
I have my Hotmail. My Facebook is my Hotmail. And the Hotmail that I had for MSN.
That's right, yeah.
Because I think I got Facebook in like 09.
Yeah.
I think.
I got Facebook in 07.
I got Facebook in 08 or 09. And I would have been, like 15, 14. I've had Facebook for a while. Yeah. I've always been on that kind of thing, though. That's been my thing.
Yeah. No, I had MySpace. I didn't use it often. But Black Planet, man. Oh, Black Planet was dope. Back then, I was actually, because if you knew how to do cascading, they're called cascading style sheets. If you know how to do that, you could like customize your page. You remember the Facebook, some of the Black Planet pages, and people had like all the really cool things, and like, I had my page like nice, and I was making my own animated GIFs back then. So you come to my page, like my picture would like shift, and I had time.
Wow.
Like 2001, I had bare time.
That's hilarious. I can't remember. I saw it pass through. I don't know who said it. AOL. I know that was when you got the like the three.
Do people
discs,
still
like,
poke? Sorry, that's funny. I used to
Well, I
hate
I
that.
never poked nobody.
Oh,
At least I
Yeah.
don't think I did.
I was
No.
always getting poked, man. I hated
Mhm.
it so much. I was
Like,
just
I
like,
didn't
what
know
is
what
the
it
point
meant.
of this? Like,
It's just to get your attention. That's all it was.
I hated it. I hated it. I don't think they
Yeah.
still have that on here, though, right? They
I
don't
don't know.
have
They
it.
might
I know
have
it's
got
one
rid
On
of
of
it. I
them.
haven't.
MSN they had the nudge, and it'll like
Yeah.
shake
Yes.
your
And
window.
yeah.
But then on Facebook they had the poke, and then you'd get a random notification, so and so poked you, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'd be looking at those
Yeah.
pokes all day. I was just like, whatever.
Yeah. All right, let's save this for next week. Let's save
Oh
this till next.
my gosh, sounds
Let's save this
good.
till next week. I feel like
It
we
was
can talk about
great
this for
talking to you
for a good
guys
another hour.
tonight.
Yes, we have to do it again.
It was awesome. So thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you, Tanya, for coming on.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
Saying your
folks
piece.
waving
And
on
thanks,
Facebook
Aisha,
now.
for
You're
trying.
right. That's
Yeah.
true. I liked being poked, Aisha said.
Okay.
Easy over there.
Okay. On that note, have a good night, guys.
Yes, to be continued. Dot, 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 dot,
Yeah.
dot, dot.
Yes. Next week.
All right,
Okay, well,
everybody.
Same place.
do this. Bye, Real Navy. Is that what we
Yes,
decided
the
to do?
real Navy.
Real Navy. All right, I like that.
Real Navy.
call it-
Okay.
Real Navy. I like
That's
that.
the
I
one.
like that.
Have a good night, guys.
Have a good night, guys. Bye.
Bye.